Today we've got some wild stories straight from police body cams. These are some stories of heroes who tried to do the right thing but ended up in handcuffs. From a retired firefighter saving a life to a veteran disarming a gunman. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about Joseph Gar, a retired firefighter. Picture this, it's October 9th, 2020, in Santa Paula, California. Joe is driving along when he spots someone lying in a pool of blood in a parking lot. Without thinking twice, he jumps out to help. Sounds like a hero, right? Well, hold on to your seats. So there's Joe giving CPR to a shooting victim. The police arrive and everything seems okay. But then Detective Rivera shows up and turns everything upside down.
Don't go to the car. Don't go to that car. Stay over here. Stay over here. Stay over here. Come over here. That's your car?
That's my car. I was driving by. I saw it. I'm a retired firefighter.
Okay.
I'm not a part of this.
We don't know anything about that. We see a gun in the car. You're not going there. Do you have your ID?
It's in the car.
What's your name?
Joe Garces.
Joe Garces. You gotta relax, okay? We know you're helping us out.
Wait, but you guys aren't listening either. That's part of the problem. Yeah.
So I said we appreciate your being involved. Okay. We're just running.
That's his knife. I took it out of his pocket to cut his shirt off.
And that's your vehicle.
Yeah, I was driving north. I saw the lady. They were looking this way, and I saw him down, and I thought it was beer or something. Spun around and came in, saw the blood. She said they were calling 911. I screamed, has he been shot? And she said, yeah, as I was pulling in.
Okay.
Saw the gunshot wound to the side of his face. I did a quick check, found the gun in his waistband, rendered it useless, stuck it inside my car, grabbed his knife, cut off his shirt, and then you guys started showing up.
Okay. Did you see anybody running, anybody leaving the area, anything?
Not a thing.
Joe tries to explain what happened, but Rivera isn't having any of it. Things get heated, and before Joe knows it, he's in handcuffs. Seriously? Can you believe that?
Not a thing.
Get this guy out of here. Sir.
He's a witness.
What the?
Relax.
We appreciate it.
Huh?
So I got a crime scene, sir. I'm a detective.
Yeah, and I'm here helping him, so step the off. Okay? If you're a good detective, you wouldn't be yelling at me right now. You'd be taking care of your job.
Over here.
You. I can't get the out of here.
Get out of my crime scene. Get out of my crime scene.
What are you gonna do to me?
Get out of my crime scene. I'm gonna make you next time. Get out of my crime scene.
Come with me, Mr. Garces. Mr. Garces.
That's my.
Come with me, Mr. Garces.
People will give you guys the benefit of the doubt, and I work with you 27 years. When do I get my car back then? Hey, tell them. Thank you for teaching me not to be helpful, you fat piece.
You have to step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. I don't know who you're.
Oh yeah, so now you're gonna come over with me, huh? You're doing a really good job right now, aren't you?
I need you to back up.
You need to calm him. I need you to back up. No,
I got it. Come here.
No, you need to understand.
Take it down a notch.
You can take it down a notch. Somebody here's not controlling themselves.
Down.
It's you.
Take a deep breath.
Don't be a hypocrite.
I've taken a deep breath. It's your turn.
Yeah, don't be a hypocrite.
You want to talk like adults? I'll let you go. You want to talk like
Did you
adults?
start talking to me like an adult?
Do you understand how I need to do
You
my
see
job?
what you're doing wrong?
If you know how to do this job and you have a badge, then you would understand. Now, do you want to
It's
go
so
for 148 if you have a badge?
It's so
Do you have a badge?
Yes,
Are you
I do.
retired?
Yes.
Do you want to go for 148 for being in a crime scene? Just because sergeants at the patrol don't know how to do their job, and you were a
You're
cop
saying
at
your
one time-
sergeant doesn't know how to do his job?
Take him. Turn him around. Where's your badge at?
In my Jeep, like I keep saying, but you won't listen.
We're adding your Jeep.
Hey, you go see it when you look
Do
in
you
the
want
front
your
of the
car?
Jeep.
Do you want me to have to write a search warrant and keep it, or do you want to keep your car? Do you want to get home as soon as possible?
I'm not talking anymore.
Okay. Sink him. Sink him in this car right here.
64. What's your first name?
Joe.
Joe.
Hey, check that out. I stopped to help somebody who's been shot. I'm getting arrested.
Joe ends up in the back of a patrol car with a dislocated shoulder and a torn ligament. He later sued the city and Detective Rivera, and they settled out of court. But Joe was left wondering if he should ever try to help again. Talk about a thankless job. Can you imagine 1 minute you're saving a life, and then the next, you're the one needing help? But hang tight, because this next story is just as crazy. Alright, let's move on to our next story. This one's from June 27th, 2023. Army veteran Matt Solon and his friend Michael Loudermilk were out with their girlfriends when things took a turn for the bizarre. A drunk guy pulled a gun on them, and Matt, being the hero, disarmed him. Sounds like a scene from an action movie, right? Wait till you hear what happened next.
The guy who pulls the gun isn't the one who goes to jail that night. You go to jail.
Exactly.
Someone pulled a gun on me. This guy asked for a cigarette. We told him he doesn't have a cigarette. He's drunk, and he pulled a gun out on us. I disarmed him.
has the gun?
I have the gun. It's disarmed. It has hollow points in it. It's a Glock.
I want you to stand there and I want you to put that gun on the ground, okay? Do not have it in your hand when they pull up.
Okay, it's on the ground.
Okay, tell them the gun's here and point to the ground, but keep your hands to where they can see them.
Okay, come on.
All right, thank you.
Where did that come from? It came from him bleeding from the head.
So Matt disarms the guy and calls 911, thinking he's done everything right. The police arrive and instead of a pat on the back, Matt gets handcuffed. You can't make this kind of stuff up. The officers are all over Matt, questioning him like he's a criminal. Despite explaining everything, they charge him with felony possession of a firearm. Unreal.
Sir, did I do something wrong? I don't know what's going on. We're trying to detain you to figure out what's going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong or no?
Look at it this way, man.
I'm done talking.
Anytime we show up on a call, we have to do what we can for safety reasons until we can safely ask everybody questions. We got one guy with a gun, one guy bleeding, so we detain, and we wait till everything calms down, then we start asking questions and kind of figure out what happens in the scenario, just so you know why you're sitting back here.
No, I have no idea why I'm sitting back here. It doesn't explain anything.
Matt, step on now.
Yes, sir.
I had
it under control, I feel like.
You had what under control?
The whole situation. I had him on the ground. I'm taking care of until the ambulance. I had it disarmed. And what else did you guys do?
All I'm told is that you're the last one to have the gun. You started touching your pockets and everything. I asked you not to, and you're like, hey, I'm the hero, or whatever you were saying.
Okay, sorry.
So,
I see your perspective.
In your view, is Matt Solon a hero?
During his initial response, that yes, I agree with that comment. I think when the second act was taken, that's where the lines crossed, where he protected himself and the people he was with, and I commend him for that. Then part two is where he took action beyond that, and that's where he did cross the line.
Did that appear to be punitive rather than defensive?
Yes, that's what I saw.
I asked over and over and over again, what am I being arrested for? And Officer O'Brien said, he has rights too.
The gunman has rights.
The gunman has rights too. He was restrained and you hit him while he was restrained, and that's why you're going to jail. And I was like, he's never been restrained. He's not restrained.
How long were you in jail?
About 35 hours.
The guy who pulls the gun isn't the one who goes to jail that night.
Exactly.
You go to jail.
Exactly.
He isn't arrested till the next month.
No, and he's giving his gun back. They're going to see this when they run my plate, that I've been arrested before.
For a gun-related charge.
For a gun-related charge, right. And they're going to think in their head, oh, this guy just had a good lawyer. He got off it.
Matt ends up spending 35 hours in jail. The media goes nuts over this story, and eventually, all the charges were dropped. But his record's tarnished, and he's left with a big mess to clean up. Talk about no good deed going unpunished. Matt's ordeal shows how sometimes, even when you do everything right, things can still go horribly wrong. But our next story is just as jaw-dropping, so don't go anywhere. Next up, we've got a story from February 4th, 2014, involving a firefighter who ended up in handcuffs. Picture this, a highway patrol officer versus a firefighter. It sounds like the start of a bad joke, but it actually happened. Chula Vista firefighter Jacob Gregoire was doing his job, providing medical assistance to victims of a rollover incident. His fire truck was blocking traffic to keep everyone safe. Enter the CHP officer, who orders him to move the truck. Jacob refuses, saying his priority is the victims. Seems reasonable, right? Well, not to the officer.
Okay, I don't have time for a cell phone. This is ridiculous. CHP is arresting Engineer Gregoire for where he spotted the fire engine.
We asked you to clear the road and you said no, and you'll get arrested and start moving it.
Middle of patient care with patients on the freeway. They're putting him in handcuffs at this time and walking him away.
Things get tense, and the officer actually arrests Jacob. Can you believe that? In the middle of helping accident victims, he's put in handcuffs. Jacob's fire chief backs him up, saying he did the right thing by prioritizing the victims. Thankfully, he's released after about half an hour, but the whole situation is just mind-boggling. It's pretty wild when a firefighter gets arrested for doing his job. You'd think they'd be working together, but instead, it turned into a power struggle. Unbelievable. Alright, buckle up, because the next story is even crazier. We got a nurse who stood her ground and paid the price. Alright, our next story takes us to Salt Lake City, Utah, on July 26, 2017. This one involves a nurse who stood up for her patients' rights and ended up in handcuffs. Meet Alex Woobles, a charge nurse who found herself in the middle of a police standoff at the University of Utah Hospital. The police wanted a blood sample from an unconscious patient who was the victim of a car crash. The patient wasn't under arrest, couldn't consent, and the cops didn't have a warrant. So Alex, following hospital policy and the law, told the officers they couldn't take the blood. What happens next is straight out of a nightmare.
So I printed this off. This is what I was told to print off. I have this. It says obtaining blood samples for police enforcement from patients suspected to be under the influence. Okay? This was something that you guys agreed to with this hospital. The three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest. And neither of those things, the patient can't consent. He told me repeatedly that he doesn't have a warrant, and the patient is not under arrest. So I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. That's all. So.
Okay, so I take it without those in place, I left it in place. Am I fair to surmise that?
Despite her calm and clear explanation, the officer, Detective Jeff Payne, wasn't having it. He gets frustrated and does the unthinkable.
I don't know. I have no idea why he's playing. I'm just representing. Why are you blaming us?
She's the one that has told me no.
Yeah, but sir, you're making a huge mistake right now. Like you're making a huge mistake because you're threatening a person.
No, we're done. No, we're done, sir.
Hey.
We're done.
Sir, I haven't. Hey.
And I appreciate that you have a policy.
It's not my policy.
No, I know.
No, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm being told what to do and what I've been told.
And what I'm trying to tell you is, we wanted blood from this guy. Now, I have talked to people, and there's probably a much better solution that we could have come to, okay? But, all we had to do was the blood, okay? And my point is, there are if we're breaking the law, if we're doing wrong, okay?
Just listen to him.
Listen to me. If we're doing wrong, there are civil remedies, okay? It's called proofs of poisonous tree. If we took this blood illegally, it all goes away, all right? So there's civil remedies if we make a mistake. What I'm telling you is, we are not making mistakes, okay? I've done this for 22 plus years. I know what the law is when it comes to search and seizure, all right? And what you have done, because your bosses are telling you, has been to prevent this officer who was called out to do his job. That's obstructing justice. Okay?
Detective Bain forcibly grabs Alex, slams her against the wall, and handcuffs her right there in the hospital, all for following the rules and protecting her patient's rights. You can't make this stuff up. After a public outcry and an internal investigation, Detective Payne was fired, and his supervisor, Lieutenant James Tracy, was demoted. Alex chose not to pursue charges, but the whole incident was a massive PR disaster for the police department. It's a crazy world when you're doing your job and following the law gets you arrested, but Alex stood her ground and justice was eventually served. Now let's move on to our final story, where a Good Samaritan got a raw deal. Stay tuned because this last story is going to leave you shaking your head in disbelief. Our final story takes us to Loveland, Colorado on September 22nd, 2019. This one involves a Good Samaritan who ended up in hot water for helping out. Meet Preston S., a guy who just wanted to lend a hand after a motorcycle crash, but ended up facing some serious charges.
There's no reason for this. Get my phone, Sherry. This is up. Videotape this. All you had to do was talk to me. I didn't want to talk to you. I didn't have to talk to you. Doesn't matter.
Preston and his girlfriend were at a bar when they saw a motorcycle crash. They rushed to help the trapped rider, but when Officer Paul Ash arrived, things took a strange turn. Officer Ash wanted to talk to Preston, but Preston, knowing his rights, refused. And that's when the drama kicked off.
Where is the bike at?
The bike's parked down on the side. Yeah, the blue one there. We pulled it off.
Okay, you might come and talk to me?
I don't know what happened.
Well, you pulled the bike off.
I'm not talking to nobody.
Really?
These guys saw what happened. I didn't.
Okay, if you're not talking to anybody, you can leave.
Well, you can leave.
No.
You're dismissed.
We can't
leave. We can't leave. I'm not leaving.
Okay, then come and talk to me.
No, I'm not going to come talk to you.
Preston had every right to refuse to answer questions, protected by the Fifth Amendment. But Officer Ash wasn't too happy about that, and decided to arrest Preston for obstruction, even though there was no basis for it. Talk about an overreach.
Police officer, man. Just
I know.
Did you pull the bike? Did you pull the bike off him?
Come talk to
okay,
him.
that's
Did you pull the bike off him?
I did not.
You just told me you did.
Nothing to do with me.
Okay, you're free to leave.
Yeah, you're free to leave.
So
No, I don't have to talk to
this is
anybody.
gonna go one of two
I don't have
ways.
to talk to anybody.
This is gonna go
I
one
don't
of
have
two
to talk
ways.
to anybody.
Okay, either
I
you're
don't
gonna
have to
sit
talk to
here and
anybody.
talk to me,
No,
we'll just have a short
no,
conversation,
no,
or I can arrest
I don't
you for
have to-
obstruction.
No, you're not. I'm not obstructing
You
anything.
are.
You're right here.
Okay.
I'm not obstructing nothing.
Preston tried to explain, but Officer Ash was set on making an example out of him. To make matters worse, they started discussing what charges they could pin on him, and even muted their body cams to avoid recording their scheming. Seriously shady stuff.
These guys are taking care of it.
Please just come talk to me.
No.
Okay, turn around.
I don't want to talk to you.
Turn around right now.
No. Nope.
Turn around.
Videotape this, Sherry.
I'm already doing
no.
this right here. Turn
No.
around.
No, you're wrong.
Turn around.
My constitutional rights.
around.
I don't have to talk to you. I don't
Turn
have to.
around.
I don't have to ID myself.
Turn around.
I don't know what happened. He came over. We saw him down. I came to help him get his bike up.
Okay, and that's what I need to talk to you.
That's right.
So if you've
So
inserted yourself,
let me go.
if you've inserted yourself, you need to talk to me.
I don't
You're
need to talk to
obstructing
you.
an investigation.
I'm not obstructing
You are
anything.
under arrest for obstruction.
I'm
and
not
now for
obstructing.
resisting.
I want to talk to your supervisor.
You can talk to him before you go to jail.
I'm not going to jail.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I helped the guy get his bike up,
That's why you
and
need to talk to
I'm
me.
obstructing.
Okay. You're here?
Yeah.
I need statements from the guy in the blue plaid shirt.
Okay.
The guy in the black Eagles thing.
Okay.
He was the one who moved his bike over there, or was moving it.
Eagles jersey over there?
Yeah. No, he told me that he helped move the bike. So that point, I'm going to reconstruct what happened. So yeah,
Well, he's tampering with evidence.
Yeah.
So.
Preston was charged with evidence tampering and obstruction, but it was all bogus. He suffered severe injuries during the arrest and needed a complete shoulder replacement. Months later, all charges were dropped and Preston sued the city. The lawsuit was settled for $290,000, but the officers faced no disciplinary action. It's a pretty wild story of how helping someone can turn into a legal nightmare. Preston's case shows the dark side of how authority can be misused. Hopefully the settlement brought him some peace, but the scars from that night will likely stay with him. Thanks for sticking with us through these unbelievable stories. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you stay updated with all of our latest videos. Let us know in the comments section what you think about these cases. Were the officers justified, or did they go too far? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.